punk ass bitches, I'm gonna make it clear to you, you can be trans and be a bad person. For example, my housemate's a fucking asshole. They know that this apartment has had so many obvious fucking health code violations, from mold to smoke alarms not working to a huge fucking hole in my wall that is about 4 to 5 feet tall and spits out fucking water and plaster, and many, many, many more things. Like, they're an asshole. They're the type of person that'll be like, oh, I'm gonna only shower every 6 days, and I'm gonna leave the fucking drain clogged with my fucking long ass hair, and I am going to leave my funky dingleberry smell all over the goddamn bathroom with all the fucking soap and dander and bullshit. And then they could even be specifically told, like, hi, when you spill something in the microwave, can you clean it up? And they will proceed to not do that, then get shocked when there's roaches. This asshole once left a motherfucking half cup of ramen spilled in the microwave on its side, then proceeded to take their ramen cup, close the microwave, and just keep on fucking trucking. And just let that shit ferment and solidify in the microwave until I eventually found it. They're the type of asshole where you could ask them to move the fucking metal little grate thing you put in the sink to, I don't know, block things from falling into the fucking drain or whatever. And they will hawk thick, disgusting green and yellow mucus loogies directly into it. And when I say, hi, you're clogging the sink and it's gross, and I don't want to touch that or have water splash back off of it, can you just move the grate? It takes a single second to do, or even just not have the grate in the sink. You know what they will do? Proceed to keep hawking loogies directly onto the grate and clogging the sink with their nasty fucking shit. So needless to say, do I hate my housemate? Yes. And they have for the longest time used two excuses for being a disgusting ass white nigga: being non-binary and being disabled. Now, and also before you go, oh, they're disabled. Oh, I'll put it this way: they were disabled. They are no longer disabled. They used to be, and their disability was more like they got into a fight once, and then now they walk with a slight limp. That's the only disability they have. Nothing else to remotely stop them from being a good person. The slightest little limp ever, so slight that you like it basically doesn't even fucking affect them. They walk around and stomp around and all that shit like an asshole. And then they try to use the non-binary card, and it's like, I hate to break it to you. Fuck it, I'm non-binary. I'm gonna say it, because when you're non-binary, you get to say fucked up shit about non-binaries. Some of y'all are just fucked up ass white niggas, white cis dudes, who eventually realized, oh shit, I think I'm queer. You know what? I like to suck dick, and I want to wear skirts. And I have never fully agreed with the concept of gender, but you do all the same shit that a toxic white dude would do. Same level of entitlement, same racism, same bigotry, same bullshit, like same misogyny, all that shit. Except now, cool, you wear fishnets and like platform pumps, and you go to Folsom Street Fair to get fisted. And you let your hair grow to your fucking nasty, funky ass crack, and you don't shower. And don't fucking take care of your home, don't care about other people, are hostile as fuck to other people. And then as soon as any form of pushback or consequences come, you want to claim someone's being some sort of phobic to you. No, you're just projecting because you know you're the actual bigot. Like, hell, I had to get into a fight with this nigga like 2 weeks ago because I'll put it to you this way. If we want, I'll put it this way: lift up the veil of non binariness. I'm non binary, they're non binary, but I'll put it this way. They really thought they were in a situation 2 weeks ago to put their fucking hands on me. So to anyone else who didn't know what our fucking genders that we have gave ourselves were, you'd be like, oh, why is this like 6 foot something white dude trying to physically put their hands on this like young scrawny black chick, like for no fucking reason? All they had to do was say please, and I would have moved out the way of the sink. Instead, they tried to physically shove me, grab me, and hit me in my face. So you know what I did? I hit the fuck back. Cause what the fuck do you think you're doing? And yeah, and then their nose had to get as sideways as their fucking brain is. And yeah, they had to learn their role. They had to learn that it's like, stop trying to fuck with people. I'm just saying, you could be trans, you could be non-binary, you could be any race in the world and be a bad person. Funny enough, a reason I don't like queer spaces is that it's like walking on eggshells, while you also just meet people who have all sorts of like phobias and like isms and shit that they haven't addressed, and they'll just be like, oh, but I'm gay, I'm queer, I can't be a bad. Yes, you can. This one nigga in high school, Steven, I remember you, bitch. This nigga was like a 6'5", built like a tank motherfucker. He had hit me several times, but I didn't give a shit because I thought to myself, he ain't like. I'm an asshole too. I'm an asshole. So I'll put it this, but you know, sometimes niggas, you have to. I'll put it this way: I'm the type of person, regardless of your gender, I'll set you fucking straight. Well, I remember when I first met Steven. Steven said some disgusting shit about nutting on my pussy. Mind you, I was a fucking freshman in high school and very, very much proper. I was an extremely eloquent, proper young lady. I was like Black Audrey Hepburn in high school. So this nigga just off the bat said the most disgusting, depraved shit to me, unprovoked, in our first interaction. No sort of hey, hello, none of that. Just like, hey, I bet your boyfriend doesn't get his wishes that he could ski all over that fucking tight pussy of yours, huh? It's like, why would you say that to me off the bat? I slapped that nigga in his eye. He got angry, and he believed in equal rights and equal lefts. So he proceeded with his big ass to punch me 3 fucking times in my arm. Did my arm hurt for a day or maybe even several days? Yeah. Did I still laugh and smile on my fucking face? Yeah. Cause you know what? Fuck that nigga. Oh no, my arm hurts. Well, okay, well, fuck you, because I know it hurts your ego more as a man to get slapped by a little girl like me, who is a foot shorter than you and who is not afraid to put you in your fucking place. But either way, even after that, me and Steven still had a confusing little friendship. I don't know, like, sometimes he'd be nice and let me sit next to him on the bus type shit, or we'd have fun little conversations or shit. Steven was a fucking cunt. There's a million stories I could tell you. It was one of those things where it's like, when you have some enemies in high school for fucking stupid reasons, sometimes you just take what you can get in terms of friendship. So it's like, if it wasn't the fucking special ed kids, because I was in special ed, obviously. Oh, not obviously. Well, whatever. Shut the fuck up. Don't. Shut up. Don't answer. Don't let me know if you think it was obvious or not I was in special ed. I don't want to hear that. I will fucking end you. Sorry. As I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, Steven was a punk ass nigga. But eventually, I guess he came out as pansexual or some shit. And then guess what? He started sexually harassing people, but like he was still okay with sexually harassing women, but then he would use the excuse of I'm gay, so it's fine. It's like, I remember once on the bus, this was the final straw in our friendship. On the bus, he kept gripping my thighs and gesturing towards my lady parts, my vajayjay, and trying to grip way too high on my thighs and legs over and over and over. And I was like, Steven, stop doing that. Stop. I'm not comfortable. Hey, you need to cut it out. Listen, I don't like how that feels, okay? I don't want that. It's like, just chill. It's just chill. We could joke any sort of way. That's a boundary. This nigga proceeds to, with the most fucking shitty male ego bullshit ever, be like, what? I'm gay! I can do it because I'm gay. I don't want to fuck you. I don't want to fuck you. And I said, okay, cool. That doesn't change the fact that I just don't want that to happen. I just want to go home on a bus ride without being molested. I don't give a fuck if you're gay. Also, nigga, I know you like girls because you've made it clear you like women. I know you're pansexual. But even then, it doesn't matter if you're attracted to me or not. What, I can't just like you not trying to grope my vagina today? And this nigga kept repeating, I'm gay. I'm fucking gay. And I said, yeah, and you're bi, you're pan, and I'll put it this way. If a gay nigga molests you, it's still you getting molested. Like, I'll put it this, and I even tried to tell him, I said, nigga, if a lesbian came up to you right now and shoved her fucking fingers in your ass and then said, oh, it's okay because I only like women, you'd still be like, you don't want fingers in your ass, huh? So don't do it to me. But he kept being shitty, and then he did that shitty thing that especially teenage boys with shitty fucking parents and no emotional regulation issues do. And he did that thing where he just, like, slumped his shoulders and kept glaring with his lips pouty and shit in the most pathetic, ugly way possible, and our friendship never recovered. But it's not like it was, it's like good riddance, you know? You could be queer and be a bad person. You can be gay and be a bad person. Hell, I remember one of the last few non-binary parties I went to, this one bitch got mad at me because it's like, I didn't know what allistic meant and dared to ever ask her. And she got so fucking hostile when she tried to explain it to me. I said, oh, I haven't heard that before. I guess the only word I've known for it was neurotypical. And then she was like, no, it's an entirely different thing. It just means someone who has a condition that is not autism. And she kept having a fucking attitude. And it was this rude ass white bitch. I don't know what her gender was, but it's like, oh, whatever you are, you're a fucking Karen. And then let me tell you, it was ironic because then whenever I talked about my autism, or even if I just said something that, you know, some people would find funny, some people would find like quirky or odd, she made it a big show with her other people to like try to make me feel as awful as fuck for it. And it's like, oh, okay, so you're shitting on me as if you're, so it's like, you're shitting on me for not knowing autism terminology, but you're also shitting on me for daring to show autism aligned traits. And what was so funny is that anytime I left the conversation with her and went to another social group, within the party to talk to them, she would specifically try to show up, and if not try to undercut whatever I was saying, she would try to shove herself into conversation in an ironically kind of autistic coded way. Stupid ass bitch. Huh. Fuck that bitch. And then, like, she kept trying to find ways to insult me or neg me, even if I wasn't even talking. And then, just like, she kept, I'll put it this way, I don't give a fuck what this bitch identifies as, but I know what I fucking would label her as: an insecure hag. That's someone who was insecure and jealous because I looked better than her and I was outdoing her socially at a party, and she wanted to look better than me, and the only way she could ever do better than me, because I showed up looking fine as hell, I was having a fun time, I was socializing effortlessly and making so many friends, and she couldn't make friends with anyone in that fucking room unless she was trying to either insult me or try to like cut me off, so that it's like she was just trying to make me feel bad because she herself is not a good person. And it's like, I don't know what your fucking deal is, bitch. I don't give a fuck what condition you have, but learn to fucking behave. I don't know. Like, that's still, every time I think about it. Oh, here's a fun story. So, you know how I have that event I run, right? I run a bunch of different events all over the fucking area I live in. But one specific event, I love it so much. And when it first started, it was like the second week of it starting. I have this thing where I always bring candy to it. Always bring candy to it. But this week I didn't get to go to CVS or whatever. So I made a deal. I made a post online. I was like, hey, whoever can get me a nice big bag of candy or two, like family size, so that I can share it with everyone in the venue before the event starts. And if you can come like 30 minutes early and drop off the candy, then I'll give you whatever slot you want. Like, if you want to go first or early while the crowd's still nice and big, absolutely. And two, I'll give you extra time, so you won't get 4 minutes, you'll get 7 or maybe even 10. This bitch said she would, and I made it clear. I was like, I'm thinking I want someone that can get me specifically like Kit Kats, Twix, or Hershey Golds. Those are the three that I'd like. This fucking cunt, trans bitch. Nothing's wrong with being trans. Something's wrong with being a bitch. Let's call her Nola, because fuck you. Nola had issues. Let's just say Nola showed up with this stupid bitch named, like, let's call him Ellie. Ellie is like, if you looked at them, you'd think a black dude with weird fucking fashion who might be a crackhead, but they identify as non-binary. And Nola, black trans woman, aka they used to be a dude, now they're a woman. And it's like, Nola has a past, and I'll tell you about it soon. Like, let's just say I was still trying to give her room, because it's like, you know, I have a past of my own, plenty of people do, and as long as they were owning up to it and trying to be good, that's all that mattered. But let me tell you, imagine how I felt when I thought that she was gonna be at the venue at like let's say 5:30. She shows up when the fucking event is about to start, like 30 minutes late, and isn't responding to any messages or texts or anything. Anything at all. To let me know when they're arriving, when she's arriving, anything. So Nola shows up eventually, and it's like fucking 6 p.m. at that point. You show up at 6 p.m. and I was already pissed because it's like some of the audience left because it's like, okay, like there's no fucking candy that was promised, and like, and also that's how I get people. I have autism, it's hard for me to socialize. I know that it's much easier if I go around a room giving every single person candy, introducing myself and saying, hey, comedy starts at this hour if you'd like to join, or the event starts at this hour if you'd like to join. And the way this bitch shows up with Ellie, crackhead ass Ellie, Nola comes in at the when the show's about to begin, like maybe a single minute or two before it's actually showtime, and then doesn't greet me at all, and just slams the candy onto the table I'm sitting at. And when I say, oh hey Nola, and look at the candy, this bitch got me a single fucking serving, like for one single person, a single serving size bag of peach rings, number one. And number two, this fucking whore brought goddamn saltwater taffy. So you heard me say Kit Kats, Twix, or Hershey Golds, and you said I'm gonna bring, and I thought to myself, who the fuck likes saltwater taffy? And like, come on, and like, what? But you know, I didn't outwardly say it. All I know is it's like, I just said, oh hey Nola, and Nola ignored me each time, purposely, just with a frown on her face, glaring out into space and shit, from like less than a foot away, pretending she didn't hear me. And then when she does finally look at me, she's like, "What?" And then I say, "Oh, can I ask what happened with the Kit Kats and Hershey Golds deal we had?" And then this bitch proceeds to just stare at me with murder eyes and be like, "You didn't specify," and then stormed outside. And that made me want to fucking throw a steel goddamn chair. I have a past, as I've said, but this event was new, and I wanted it to be consistent, so I wasn't about to start causing a scene or breaking fucking necks. Like, I could have caused a scene, but I had some of my homies calm me down, and all that. Oh, the story goes on, but I'll try to wrap it up, because also my throat's getting kind of sore. I'll say it like this. This bitch has issues. She was rude to me for no reason. We still decided to let her go first and gave her extra time despite her bringing the wrong shit in terms of candy and attitude and coming late. We still chose to have her go up because we thought, you know what, she'll just, like, the faster she goes up, the faster she gets the fuck out. Or maybe she'll tell me later what's stressing her out. I thought to myself, it seems like maybe something has stressed her out because she seemed pissed before she arrived. I'm gonna hold grace for her. No issue was had, but she was rude to my host, and it's like, you cannot be rude to my host. That is a friendly ass old man who is nice to everyone. He's a golden retriever. You disrespect me? Okay. Disrespect my fucking host, bitch? The sweetest of them all? Oh, you want to get fucked up. So, this stupid whore. Fuck this bitch. Oh, also, she brought Ellie B. Ellie B is known as a hot mess. I don't like Ellie B. Ellie B did a lot of weird shit. Ellie B showed up and was like, "Oh, I don't have a slot, so can I get bumped up on the list?" I said, "Oh, you can sign up for the next available slot. We have slot number 12 if you want that. It'll take a while, but it's not bad. You know, I think it'll pass by pretty fast the evening. You'd be shocked." But they were insistent on no. So what Eli B did with their fucking black non-binary ass, they approached every motherfucker in that building. I'll put it this way, despite being non-binary, you know what privileges you have. You know how people perceive you. Absolutely. Like, that's why even as a non-binary person, I know that because I'm perceived as a woman, I get certain opportunities and treatment and much more that would not pass if I were born a man. So some of these motherfuckers are non-binary or trans or whatever, but you know how people see you. So I'm just saying, if you know everyone else in the room sees you as some sort of intimidating black male, just because you fucking put on a little bit of fucking shitty ass honey gloss with your ashy ass mouth and your fucked up ass Lil Wayne ass bleached locks and shit, and you go around, they went in the room to every fucking little scrawny ass white boy they could, and just every other fucking person in that room about to perform, and they kept trying to be like, "Can you swap with me? I want your slot. I don't want to go. Like, I need my to swap with you." And I interjected. I was like, "She does not even." I was like, "Eli doesn't even have a slot. Like, no, Eli, stop it. You can be slot number 12." And I would be like, "Corey, trust me. You do not, like, you are number 2. You do not, because of her pressure, you have to give up your slot. Absolutely not. Do not do it if you're not comfortable." But you could tell, like, Eli B was putting on thick. Like, they were kind of relying on the whole white guilt and motherfucking guilt tripping. Like, they were kind of trying to weaponize their identity, but also trying to be low-key threatening and aggressive with the way they were doing it. They wouldn't just let it be. They were like, "Why not? Why can't I? Oh, you have a problem with me?" type shit. And it's like, stop. Stop. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. And it's like, like, do I respect that they were doing that? Honestly, it's like, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. A part of me is like, that's a smart tactic, going up to the fucking scrawniest, fucking most anxious white dudes in the room and trying to peer pressure and bully them, while low-key trying to weaponize your identity politics against it, so that, what, you can go up early in the evening? Shut up. Like, but yeah, they didn't succeed, so they just had to settle for slot number fucking 12. But they made everyone in the fucking room uncomfortable. And then much more happened. They, like, so much more happened. They kept doing passive aggressive shit. When they did eventually get on, like, they eventually later in the evening tried to be like, "Well, I'm the one who paid for the candy that Nola got, so therefore I think I should get extra time. Can I at least get extra time? Can I get 7 or 10 minutes? And I thought to myself, I've seen this nigga perform before. They don't even have jokes for 4 minutes. And I know that as they like as a person, they don't have any jokes. They just go on stage and start rambling in dissociative drug states. I don't need that. So I was like, yeah, yeah, sorry, you weren't included on the original deal. Maybe if it was discussed before, but it wasn't. And I like just know, like the deal didn't even get fulfilled with Nola. So it's like, yeah, just know. It's like if I make a deal with person A and person B, and person C tries to interject in, and person C's already a fucking cunt. It's like, and also person B was a cunt. It's like I'm just gonna say no, like just no. Anyway, Eli had the nerve to, or Ellie, or whatever the fuck you pronounce their name. They got on the fucking stage, and for the 4 minutes they got, they had no jokes. They made everyone uncomfortable. They kept the joke talking about how I was an unprofessional, how everyone in the room was unprofessional, how they hate everyone, saying random ass shit about coochie and pussy with no jokes, just really getting on stage and saying, I like the smell of pussy. At some point, they whipped out a doll that they had in their pants, like a fucked up Cynthia ass from the Rugrats looking doll with fucked up hair. And they were like, this is my doll. Her name is Mima. Everybody say hi to Mima, and did jokes about Mima and coochie. And it was just insulting me their entire time on stage. And I think they also tried to allude some shit about like not being for like black queers or whatever, and it was like, me, the black queer, I'm not for black queers? Oh, interesting thing to allude there. Hmm. They got off stage, and also, funny enough, they, in a fit of rage, were so angry about not being allowed extra time on stage that, like, let's just say they stole the remaining saltwater candy and then just replaced it with a random shitty bag of like loose gummy bears. And like, which, funny enough, I thought to myself, that really is disgusting and pisses me off. But you know what? The people in the crowd were having such a good time, and also were kind of unhygienic people that they did not give a fuck. They saw, oof, a big bag of family size fucking fruit juice gummy bears, and they just put their bare unwashed hands in and started gobbling that shit up. So it's like, okay, they were still happy. But that really pissed me off. Anyway, let's just wrap it up. At the end of the event, I reached out to Nola. And I just was like, hey, I noticed you seemed upset even before you arrived. And I'm just saying, like, I understand you made, like, did something happen before, like... I think also someone might have hinted to me that, like, Nola had court right before she met me. Because Nola was, like, trying to fight a restraining order that was being served against her. And she had already been posting for weeks about kicking in open her ex's door and all this other toxic abusive shit she did. And cheating and lying and all that shit. So, let's just say I reached out to them, and in my very nice, patient way, I just was like, hey, I know you're going through a really hard time, and did something upset you before you arrived here? You can talk to me about it. And also, we're holding space for you, and we still loved to have seen you, and everything was good. And this bitch immediately responded with the most aggression possible, and they were like, yeah, well, you were acting like I brought the wrong candy, but I didn't bring the wrong candy. You didn't make a request. And talking out the side of the neck. And I had to send them a screenshot where several times it was mentioned that I asked for Kit Kats and Hershey Golds. And I was like, oh, I actually did. I don't appreciate the gaslighting. It's okay to come late. It's okay to have the wrong stuff. If you would have just said, hey, I'm gonna be late, like, I would have liked to have been warned in advance, or even if you just arrived apologetic, all could have been forgiving. But it was the gaslighting and the aggression, and, like, disrespecting me is bad, but, like, I can handle that. But please don't disrespect my host, Joe. He's a sweet fucking man. He's very nice. He doesn't do anything to anybody, like, and he genuinely cares for you. And this bitch proceeded to go off and still kept trying to be aggressive like a ratchet ass bitch on some, okay, well, I feel like you weren't grateful with what you just got, though. So even if you did make a request, you should have just been more grateful about what you did get. I said I was plenty grateful until you were aggressive my way. That's how that works. And then eventually I just kind of just realized how the conversation was gonna go. And then they said some shit. I forget what they said, but it just really set me off. Let's just say it ended in a hot mess. And I just had to make it fucking clear. It's like, you are not welcomed back. Like, she already was trying to be like, I'm never coming back to your room ever. And I just said, cool, you are not welcomed back. We would have happily had you back, but you don't really care about anyone else but yourself. And you were aggressive, you brought hostile company, and you ruined every single thing and opportunity given to you, including now you're being hostile. So now you get to leave me alone. And I aired their ass out. I was all up and I aired their ass out. I was openly online and in all these, I was making it clear. I was airing shit out. I was like, you have a history of being abusive to women and lying and stealing and being fucked up. And here, people have been trying to give you room despite your mental illness to fucking grow and change as a person. And like, we were trusting you, but I'm gonna say it, just because you transitioned doesn't mean that you aren't still a danger. So since you want to come into spaces ran by me, a fellow black queer chick, and you want to make people feel unsafe and be hostile and aggressive to everybody there, go ahead and not come back. Feel free to place a restraining order on yourself against us, just like how you had one placed against you by your ex earlier this fucking day, because you were out here punching bitches and kicking open doors and shit. That's not my problem. I'm not your ex. I'm not whoever hurt you. So figure out your mental health issues and leave me the fuck alone. I made it clear. I don't fuck with that shit. And people apply, like multiple people on my side. Nola kept trying to complain, but multiple people had to reach out and be like, no, you were wrong. You brought that crazy ass crackhead ass bitch with you who harassed every fucking person in the audience and made everyone visibly uncomfortable. You brought the wrong candy, you showed up late, you showed up with a stank ass attitude, and to not only her, but also her bestie, and then several other people there. And then when she tried to talk to you about it, you got even more aggressive. I don't know what you wanted, but it's like she was making a new fucking room. And people made it clear, it's like, she's not even a comedian or a performer. And she made this space as a safe space for the community to have fun and enjoy themselves. And it's an actual space with an actual audience and a huge turnout and consistent positives in it. It's going great. No, and my buddy, like one of my closest friends, Seamus, he made it clear. He was like, this has never happened before where someone who is not a performer has produced their own show and had it go well to the point where tons of people come back every week. Especially as a black woman, especially as a queer person, and especially on like I'll put it this way, I chose a specific night of the week that is hard for many people in an area that would seemingly be hard for hella people, and much more. And it still worked out in my favors, where it's like, cool, here's a guaranteed room where you will have an actual audience to listen to your jokes, care about you, give you feedback. And then Nola and her fucking and Ellie tried to fucking show up and fuck that shit up, and then use the excuse of she's attacking me because I'm trans. No, I'm not, bitch. Like, you're not the only trans person here. It's like, oh, they're attacking me because like, and also Ellie B loves to use that fucking excuse of like, oh, it's because I'm trans, it's because I'm black, it's because I'm gay. It's like, no, it's because you do fucking crack, and because you harass people and you're weird and you side with abusers. It's because and you don't have jokes and you have an attitude problem and you're musty and your hands are always sticky and you smell like shit. That's like, come on now. Let's just say time has passed. But yeah, it's like, yeah. Funny enough, this came out today because, like, I was in public blowing bubbles outside of this event. And then who do I see but this, like, individual, like this relatively moisturized, lip gloss wearing black individual. And then they approached me, and the way they talk in that little Louisiana fucking New Orleans twang, it's like, oh, this is Ellie B. They look good. And they tried to talk to me, and they just opened up. They were like, I got a diagnosis recently for dissociative disorder. And, like, they didn't fully remember what they did at my event or what happened fully. All they know is, and it seemed like, I'll put it this way, they gave an apology that kind of gave an air of they didn't know what they were apologizing for, but they seemed relatively sincere regardless. It's hard to explain, but it's just like, it's like they didn't remember what they did or what to specifically apologize about, or they were just trying not to think about it directly. And maybe they still didn't want to acknowledge that they did anything wrong and didn't see how they did anything wrong, but you could tell they still felt really, really bad about fucking up a situation like that. But they apologized to me. And and that was nice. I appreciated that they took accountability, and that was very nice. And it seems like they're doing better mentally and emotionally for like they're getting an actual diagnosis and treatment and stuff. So I'm happy for them. Ah! Sorry. And then they were like, Auntie Nola just like was doing bad. Like, I'll put it this way: other people did also tell me it's like, oh yeah, Nola did get, like, people explained the situation to me as well as time went on. They were like, yeah, Nola got like was pissed because Eli was supposed to be her ride at that day, and Eli made her late, took all the wrong fucking turns, made her late to the court appointment, and it looks really bad if you're trying to defend yourself against like a restraining order and you end up fucking like 10 to 30 minutes late because and you bring like a shitty ass crackhead looking person with you. It doesn't prove that you're truly of sane mind or that you're taking the situation seriously. And the restraining order was granted where they could not be anywhere near their ex in a certain radius, and of course restraining orders can fuck up your life, like they can. And also it's hard as fuck to get a restraining order, so if you got one, you definitely did that shit. I'm just saying. Like, you did that shit. They wouldn't have granted that. Like, I'm just saying. But as time has went on, like, and then of course then they were running late to my event, and also Eli, Ellie, they were just like, oh, grab whatever candy, it doesn't matter, we're late on time anyway. And they kept taking a million wrong turns and shit, so Nola was secretly super pissed and just was afraid of like how I was going to react. And they don't handle their emotions well, obviously, considering they have a restraining order against them. And they lashed out at me and a bunch of other people in the process because they couldn't just figure out how to handle their rage or emotions calmly. I wouldn't have even chastised them. I wouldn't have. Like, I wouldn't, like, I'm one of those people where sometimes when shit happens, I truly will just be like, yeah, okay, yeah, you know what, whatever. Shit happens. And I just try to push it out of my brain as quickly as possible so I can keep going with my fucking goals in life. Just, this bitch. This bitch. Anyway, but she did it. But it's so annoying being a peaceful person surrounded by people who are afraid of conflict and ironically make more conflict because of their aversion to conflict. It disgusts me. I meet people like that in my dating life. I had people like that in my family, and it's so annoying even when I'm trying to have a fucking found family community space and there's people like that over small fucking situations. Like, stop fucking pissing me off. Use your words. But anyway, fast forward to today. Yeah, Eli B apologized. That was nice. Eli Ellie, whatever. But they also mentioned Nola, and they just mentioned Nola had been going through it and was going through some issues and blah blah blah. And I decided to take the apology as just like, okay, like, I'm not saying I accept it, but I am saying I appreciate it. It's like, all right, that's growth. I know black people struggle to apologize, and I know queer people struggle with accountability, and like immature people definitely. So it's like, eh. But I'll say it like this: it is so. Let's just say on the way home, my buddy did tell me like, hey, did you see Nola made a post online? And I was like, no, we blocked each other. And I guess the video was just some video where Nola's trying to, I guess, like, deny and, like, defend and, like, deflect and all this terrible like, about the terrible stuff they did. Like, I'll put it this way: you can't be out here for months posting openly photos of the doors you kicked in and confessing about how you were beating that bitch and lying to her about every single thing in your life for no reason and being psychotic, and then, like, months later, like 3 to 4 months later, try to be all, oh, actually, you should see me as a new person now because I'm queer. Like, I'm not the same toxic man I used to be. I'm a woman now. It's like, bitch, you were a woman when you were hurting her. You were a woman when you were hurting her. Also, just because you fucking put on a wig and lipstick and start taking estrogen doesn't mean that you're fully a different person now. You're still the same fucking bastard. Like, let's take accountability here. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's okay to be evil. Just admit that you're evil. It's okay. Or stupid as fuck. Both, possibly. Honestly. But they tried to be like, I'm a whole different person than who I used to be. And then they kept gaslighting and lying in their video where they were like, also, I never kicked open her door. I never hit her. I never did anything. It's like, no, you are openly posting screenshots and videos and photos yourself and long confessions about how you beat that bitch. You showed us pictures of the doors you kicked in. Like, all that shit, bitch. And you want to lie and say, like... So anyway, it's just funny that now they're getting online with their shitty ass lipstick that doesn't fucking match their skin tone whatsoever. And I'm not saying that in a colorist way. I'm saying that in the sense of it's like, I'll put it this way: if you're a warm, if you okay, are they a warm tone or a cool tone? Actually, I think I'll put it this way: if you're a cool tone wearing a warm tone lipstick, then the lipstick is wearing you in the worst way possible. So I'm just saying it was giving clown. It was not cute. But you know what? Whatever. Like, I'm just saying. Maybe if they were safer to around fucking women, then women would show them color theory and they could get some popping ass lip gloss to really bring out their natural, they know, like, they can look good, just not with that fucking lipstick. Also, their haircut's stupid too, but whatever. They look like an ugly ass toxic librarian now. I don't know. They're going through some changes. But either way, now they're just trying to get on the internet like, I'm a woman now, so you can't hold me accountable for the stuff I did as a man. Also, I didn't do anything bad as a man. I never punched that woman. I never kicked in doors. And then basically just a whole video of like gaslighting, deflecting, and all that bullshit. And it's like, bitch, you were posting confessions. We all saw it. Like, I'm just saying, you can be trans and shitty. You can be cis and shitty. You can be non-binary and shitty. You could just be shitty. That's how it works, bitch. Turns out that regardless of your gender and what's in your pants or how you present yourself to society or how society sees you, you can be a fucking cunt. That's how it works. Like, do you know how I've been a fucking cunt to people? It's okay. Sometimes you just gotta be like, I think months ago they were just like, I was a dangerous cunt, but now I am free from shame. And then they faced shame again, and now they're just trying to shove themselves back in the closet, like, never, well, not in the queer closet, but in the abuser closet, where it's like, actually, haha, bitch was lying and fucked him because she's spreading false rumors. It's like, no, I'm just spreading information that you freely shared to us months ago that you don't remember sharing, dumbass. Or that you remember sharing, but you're trying to act like you don't. And trying to act like we don't remember you sharing it too. Anyway. Bitches are so messy. I'm just saying. Like, just say you beat her and that you're facing the consequences in the form of a restraining order and move the fuck on. That's all you gotta do. And then you just move on with your life and you try your best to work on your emotions, to get therapy, to heal. You can heal even without therapy. Try your best. Try your best. And it would have been really nice if they really could have just taken the first step of trying to work on like healthy emotional processing and conflict resolution. If instead at that faithful day at the event I was running, if they would have simply just went, oh, sorry, like they didn't have the candy you wanted in stock. I should have told you what I was going to get. I would have just been like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no, don't worry about it, please. Like, candy is candy, and I would have passed it out with a good smile on my face and still gave them time. Whatever. Anyway, I think that's all for now. Bye.